utility of protests within such a system. You only protest to those who hear you. There is no point in protesting to the person who has willfully and deliberately blocked his ears. When you're dealing with a system that is unrepentantly evil, you must come to the point of understanding that that system is structured to do exactly what it is doing. It is only when you come to the knowledge of this that you can begin to deal with Nigeria the way you ought to deal with Nigeria. Nigeria, as is currently structured, is not structured to work for those who should be citizens, but are in truth.
Guys, with the level of oppression that has been going on in Nigeria since the era of Buhari, that bettered the certificate forger we have currently now. With the level of oppression that has transpired, that has taken place in Nigeria, guys, I'm telling you, the kind of revolution we are about to witness is going to be like never before. Now, guys, I just want you guys to, I don't want to say much. I don't have to say much. I don't want to say much. I want you guys to settle down and listen to this video of Dele Farotimi to the end. Just listen, because it's full of wisdom. Please, just watch it to the end, because until you know where you are coming from, you don't know where you are. Until you know where you are, you will not know where you are going to. Do you understand? We need to know where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are heading to. I beg you, for your own good and for the good of your children, listen to this video to the end. Make sure you like this video and give it a thumbs up so that Facebook and YouTube can recommend it to every other person. Please share this video as much as you can. God bless you. Please, in order for you to always be the first to get my video, go to the comment section and follow my WhatsApp link. All right, your WhatsApp channel link. There you can be getting all my latest video whenever I post it. All right, God bless you.
Revolution comes from the French word revolver, which means to turn around. Nigeria is traveling in a direction that suggests that infamy awaits us as a nation or as a country, because we are not a nation, we're a collection of nations. But infamy, implosion awaits us if we continue driving in the direction that we are currently traveling. So, this is a moment where every person of good conscience in Nigeria must understand very clearly that there is a urgent need for a turnaround. A turnaround. You're traveling towards a cliff, and there is a need to turn around. That is the revolution. Revolving door. Remember that? This is to make it easy for idiots. I'm sorry, I'm not calling any of you, my conscious viewers, idiots. I'm simply saying that mischief makers and those who deliberately want to twist my words might be seeking to make it mean what they want it to mean. My word means turn around. The imperatives of a Nigerian turn around. So why the urgency? Why the urgency and importance of a revolution in Nigeria, of a turnaround in Nigeria? I think it is critical that we as a people examine where we are, because without a clear understanding of where we are, it becomes that much more difficult to understand the importance, the urgency, or even the need for that turnaround. A lot of people today will tell you we are in El Dorado, we have democracy, we should be happy, elections are over, we should move on, we should do this. But it is critical that we know where we are. Where are we? We're in a place where Nigeria is telling those who should be citizens very loudly, very clearly, that they are not. Why would I say this? A lot of people came out, Taskema, Bovi, a lot of conscious Nigerian entertainers got involved. People were urged to go and register to vote. We spent time, considerable time, getting them reacquainted with the electoral process. Nigerian youth turned out in record numbers across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And they were registering to vote. We were reconnecting them with the electoral process because for the like of me, it was the only way I could envisage a change devoid of conflict. It is in the human nature to demand freedom, to demand justice, and Nigeria is not structured to offer either of those two. It's not structured to offer equity. It's not structured to offer justice, to offer fairness. The way it is structured, it is already designed to be a modern feudal state. I could see that from when I was a youth, and I recognized the futility of protests within such a system. You only protest to those who hear you. There is no point in protesting to the person who has willfully and deliberately blocked his ears. When you're dealing with a system that is unrepentantly evil, you must come to the point of understanding that that system is structured to do exactly what it is doing. It is only when you come to the knowledge of this that you can begin to deal with Nigeria the way you ought to deal with Nigeria. Nigeria, as is currently structured, is not structured to work for those who should be citizens, but are in truth victims. Buhari was there for 8 years. The Fulanis were the largest victims of Nigeria. The people of Kankara, most people in Zamfara, half of Zamfara, or maybe a little less, the Fulanis. The place is torn apart by war because of mineral resources. Everywhere you find mineral resources in Nigeria, there is war because there are contending forces beyond the state taking the benefit of what should belong to all. When they cannot bring it, or when they do not desire to bring it to the central port to be shared by all of the thieves together, they create militias in a place, and that becomes the de facto governor of that place. And they take the resources and leave the people with the misery and the suffering. That has been the lot of the Nigerian throughout the entirety of my lifetime. So I saw this, and I believe that the only way this could be changed peacefully is to reconnect the people to the electoral process. And that was what we started doing. The thieves were bold to tell us, go to court. And they knew what they were saying. They clearly understood exactly what they were saying. Go to court. But of course, if we had failed to go to court and we had taken to the street in protest, the Nigerian state would have been overjoyed. So those of you in the obedient movement, or our friends, our orange wearing friends, who think that we were stupid, we should have taken to the street. If it was Mr. Lagbaja or Mr. Tenedu, the street would have been awash with protest. I was one of those, in conjunction with many others, who urged, do not take to the street. They say go to court. Let us go to court. So we went to the court. I didn't go to the court believing that we'll get justice in the court, but it was critical that on the path to that peaceful revolution that Nigeria must have, your hope in the illusion of justice being found within our judiciary had to be dashed by the judiciary itself. Me telling you or anyone else telling you wouldn't have made the impact it should. The judiciary had to willfully, in the public space, unveil itself so that Nigerians might properly recognize it for what it is. Democracy might now as well be called judiocracy, because it is the judiciary that is creating governors now, creating senators. But Kachua did give us an inkling. So when you talk about where we are is a place where our will as a people no longer counts. If we could witness INEC brazenly subverting our will in spite of all the promises related to beavers, and then we could hear our courts telling us that everything that was promised by INEC, that all the laws do not matter, then it should be suggesting to us that by 2027, we should not bother to come out to vote or register to vote. There will be no point if the court itself has legitimized the electoral heist. The reality of the matter is that the current constitutional order would have been grounded to a halt because our rights as citizens would have been legislated away, and then the legislation of our rights, the exertion of our rights would then have been confirmed by the courts. It simply means that the law is whatever the court declares that the law is. It does not matter anymore what the people want. We would have become confirmed slaves in our own country. This is where we are today. That Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is fighting his old friend, and they are busy helping us to further clarify issues. These are things that we should be happy about. We should be very, very happy for the clarity that we are gaining, even as we go closer to the Supreme Court's judgment. Because it is not just, it is the judgment, it is a judgment of many things in Nigeria that the Supreme Court will be pronouncing. But as we go closer to that day, be careful to watch out for one thing. A lot of people will try to help you change the narrative and make you believe that things are not the way it is, that maybe if you let things go, be clear. If you let things go, you've normalized evil. Nigeria will live with the contradictions. The people will suffer for it. Things will become even more lost than it is. The danger of acceptance and normalization of this situation should be writ clear for every conscious being who is still able to understand consequences. 25 years ago, men found the grace to be quiet about the evil with which we battle today. 25 years ago, Gani warned. He told you all. Those who should have talked kept quiet. They found reasons to keep quiet. 25 years later, this is where we are. But more importantly, and over and beyond Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or the man or woman known as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there is the effect on the society itself. And what is the effect on the society? The loss of accountability. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's election or selection is the height of the loss of accountability, but it's not the beginning, and it's not the only one. Once you accept the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency, you've accepted that nothing will happen to Ponde. Remember that one that was fainting in the National Assembly? That's the end of that case. Once you accept Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's the end of Adisirika and all that here Nigerian nonsense, all that fraudulence. That's the end of it. That's the last you would ever hear of it. The chairman of their party, in a show of shamelessness, that's the one that was stuffing dollars and into his babariga and cap. And yet, you have people in prison for stealing food. What kind of society would we have become when you know that what you have in high offices are thieves? What you have in high offices are forgers of documents. Where is the accountability if the ultimate evil in the public space sits in your highest office? Where is the accountability? In reality, you should free all prisoners in Nigeria, in Nigerian prisons, except you can't even say except they've killed or robbed, because what have they done that those in public offices have not done? Exactly what have they done? That is where we've gotten to as a society. You are saying to the world, to the children, because children do not learn by your protestations, they learn by your examples. Everywhere you turn, your Senate president, the ones sat in the presidency, your governors, if they are not telling you they've done time somewhere, or they have proven cases, proven. I'm not saying that somebody who has committed a crime should not live again, but those should not be the people propped up in public office, and then you have people serving time for stealing pittances. How can we build in the 20th? Are we in the 21st or 22nd century now? Only God even knows. We don't know. But this is the 2020s. How can we be building a society where the law does not matter? To enthrone one man, it's not about one man. I'm deliberately using that. To enthrone one man, that's what you think. But it is not about one man. That one man, regardless of his lies about his age, you can see clearly he's an old man. I do not wish him dead. Regardless of what anybody might say, I do not hate him. It is his deeds. Their deeds. It is what they do, the effect, the ruination of the country. Why should it take 20 years to rebuild Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? Why should it take 16 years for the bricklayer of Lagos and his gang to rebuild Lekki-Epe Expressway? Why? And we are applauding. And men of God and women of God, pastors, imams, Oloro, all of them, they are busy clapping that this is the peak of human achievement, and they travel outside this country and they are beneficiaries. But you, the victims, you need to recognize the need, urgent need. Unite yourselves and then prepare to turn around. The refusal to go to court and to go to the streets has afforded us the time to further unite ourselves, to allow them to also make all the errors they are making, to allow, for instance, now, how could we have guessed what Atiku would have dredged up? But look what Atiku has dredged up. We have not even begun to open and unveil all that and interpret it, in spite of their multiple narratives, purchased presenters, purchased influencers. We have not finished unpacking that, and you are already seeing very clearly that is becoming clearer and clearer by the day that this cannot be sustained. But it is the plan for the day after that matters. First thing, unite yourselves. When we are united as a people, we can now sit back if we've agreed that there is a need to turn around. No country can be built on impunity. And when the court of law fails to uphold justice, the confidence of the people becomes completely lost. The voices preaching violence gains traction when hope is lost. And what is happening right now is that those voices are gaining traction even though they are quiet, because the system that should have addressed the feelings of injustice have been compromised to the point where confidence in the ability of the court to act as the last hope of the common man has been completely